Have you ever wanted to make merchandise, but didn't want to just stick with t-shirts or posters? How about more unique merch like embroidered patches, giant mouse pads, and even laptop sleeves that you can bring out with you? Hi, my name is Oyun Orka, VTuber who tries to draw, and for today, I'll show you how to design unique products with Printful, including how to set up design files for embroidery, tips for illustrating mouse pads, and even how to format existing artwork for merchandise like laptop sleeves. To get started, once you're signed into your Printful account, you can browse a bunch of options for unique merchandise. There's a lot of cool products on here, but one of their more unique offerings is embroidery. Embroidery has the advantage of looking and feeling more premium because of the raised, almost 3D effect of the stitching. It can give your merchandise a more handcrafted look that straight-up printing doesn't always capture, though there are some things to keep in mind when making embroidered products. If you go to Printful and click the embroidered patches options, here you'll be able to check out all the base shapes available for embroidered patches, as well as the possible outline colors. While embroidered products can seem a bit overwhelming at first, if you follow the instructions listed on Printful, including their detailed guidelines and video tutorials, it'll go into a lot of tips to keep in mind when designing products for embroidery. I'll sum it up right here, but basically for embroidered products, you want to avoid very small, tiny details, very neon or highly saturated colors, most gradients, or negative space drawings. Another very important thing to note is for embroidered patches, you're limited to a maximum of 6 thread colors. The available colors are listed here for standard embroidery. For unlimited embroidery, here you can use any colors except for metallic or neon colors and even create gradients, but for this tutorial, let's focus on the basics and stick with the standard 6 thread color embroidery. To set up your file, you can download a template from Printful and import it into your drawing program of choice. Here, I'll go ahead and import it into Clip Studio Paint. However, one thing to note is that Printful does recommend that you use vector files when uploading your print designs. However, this doesn't mean that you have to have an Adobe Illustrator subscription or design this entire thing in a vector file. Towards the end of this section, I'll show you how you can convert this easily using an online program. However, if you don't want to convert it at all, you can also just make sure that your resolution is at least 300 dpi. But for now, let's go ahead and start drafting ideas for our embroidered patch. In order to stick with the colors that they've provided, I'll go ahead and first copy and paste this into Clip Studio Paint and drag this onto the side. Now, once I've opened our template, let's go ahead and sketch out some thumbnails. I'll sketch out 2 possible ideas for this, a rectangle embroidered patch and also a circular embroidered patch since it's one of the shapes that they offer. I've been in a little bit of a space mood lately, so I try to sketch out ideas related to that, and once I've decided on a design, I'll go ahead and finish that. When making designs for embroidered patches, it's important to make sure to not have very small, minute details. Here, I'm just using the default G pen in order to easier block out colors and not get too distracted by small details. I play around with the colors a little bit and also circle the colors that I plan to use, just so I can keep track of what colors I'm using. Also, when designing these patches, it's important to always zoom in and out so you make sure to see what it will look like when it's being printed, as the final product will come out relatively smaller. Once we have our final design ready, let's go ahead and vectorize this drawing. To vectorize an illustration, you can do so even without Adobe Illustrator by visiting Adobe Express and looking for their free online PNG to SVG converter. Since our design was drawn at 300 dpi, we can go ahead and upload that directly in. In just a few seconds, it'll create the SVG for us. I do pull this into Illustrator just to make some minor changes to the colors, but other than that, our design is pretty much ready to go. Now I'll go back to Printful, click the Start Designing button, choose the base color and outline color that I want, and then go ahead and upload our design. And it looks like I accidentally forgot to change one of the colors over, so I'll go ahead and choose the thread colors that I want. Once that's all selected, all you need to do to add this product to your own stores is choose one of the default high-quality mockups that Printful provides, add a title and description. Once that's added, you can go ahead and click this button right here in order to process this and add this to Shopify. And just as a bonus, I went through this process once again a different time for another patch, this time a circular shape. And after uploading my design, setting the thread colors, and choosing the mockup photo, there we have 2 patches added to our store. But what if you want to design more useful merch, like products that you can use in your office or on the go? Well, you can try checking out some of their other offerings. Printful has a very extensive catalog of products, and those products also include things like mousepads and laptop sleeves. So if you've ever seen one of those illustrated mousepads and wanted to design your own, Printful makes that possible. To design one of the mouse pads, I'll first go ahead and download the product template that Printful provides and start sketching out some thumbnails. Because I'm imagining that most people will probably keep their keyboard somewhere in the middle of this, I'll want to make sure that there's no key elements of this illustration in the center of this drawing. So after reviewing my thumbnails, I decided to choose this one since although the mountain is where the keyboard probably will be, the more highly contrasted areas of this illustration, including the trees and character silhouette, are all along the sides of the design. For the design of this mousepad, I'll go ahead and primarily stick to warm tone colors to sort of give the feeling of a setting sun in the evening or almost golden hour in a forest with the mountains in the background. I adjust the scale of the mountains in the backgrounds a few times and then draw on the character at the end. I play around with the posing and also the scale of the character quite a bit, and ultimately decide to make the character smaller just so that it's more visible and in order for it to hopefully not get covered by people's keyboards. And once we have our design done, let's import it into Printful. As always, the process to import these sorts of designs into Printful is super easy. All you need to do is navigate to the Mousepad product, choose the size you want, and click the Start Designing button. Once you're there, you can upload your file, click Apply, and here you'll be able to see the image preview as well as the safe print area to make sure that all your key elements are within the bleed. Once that's done, we can proceed to mockups, set the product details like the product title, description, and price. And once you're ready, hit continue and it will be added to your store. For my last product, since I've lately been going out quite a bit and needing to bring my laptop out, but not while I was wanting to lug around a huge backpack, I've been wanting a laptop sleeve. So let's design a custom laptop sleeve. With products like these, you can easily utilize artworks that you've done in the past and upload them into Printful's Design Maker. You can select the sizes you want, click Upload, choose the artwork, adjust the size and placement based on the sizing, and once again, once you've picked your mockup and title, hit continue and it'll once again be added to your store. And while I didn't cover it in this tutorial, if you want to learn how you can make your own merchandise store using print-on-demand services and integrating through Shopify, check out the video linked on the card in the top right corner here. It's a super easy process, and I walk you through the entire process. But if you already have a Shopify store like me, by following these steps, you'll easily be able to add new and unique items onto your Shopify store. And of course, you might be curious, what do these products actually look like once you've ordered them? Well, I ordered samples myself for all of the products that we tried today, and all of them came out really great. The mousepad came out huge. I was not expecting it to be this big when I ordered it, but it's also on me for not measuring this properly. The print quality of this mousepad is absolutely phenomenal. The print itself came out really great, and it really captured all the details of the illustration. It also looks really good in my space, although it might be a tad too big. Also, with the patches, these came at a perfect time. I'm planning on dressing up as an astronaut for my Halloween costume this year, and these patches really fit well with my costume. The quality of the embroidered patches are even better than the quality of the patches on the costume itself, and I'm really excited to wear this out. And finally, we have the laptop sleeve. While the colors on the laptop sleeve came out great, for some reason that I'm not quite sure of, there was this slight red bleed along the lines of the character, but I'm not sure if this was a CMYK issue, as I didn't convert this illustration to CMYK and left it in RGB, so maybe if you're using your own illustrations, it's good to first convert it to CMYK. But for the sleeve itself, the case feels very soft and plush, and the interior of this fabric feels really great. This sleeve fits my MacBook perfectly, and is super snug and feels thick and sturdy, so I'm sure that will be able to protect my laptop great. And here's a quick pan through of all the unique and custom merchandise that we designed today using Printful. And that's it. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found this video helpful. Also, if you want to learn once again how to make your own print-on-demand store using Shopify and Printful, check out the video linked on screen here. I'll see you next time. Bye bye!